Hey guys, Katie Heller here with Kids Can Read and Write. Today I want to help you understand kind of the next trick after you make sure your kids can read basic, CVC words, words with beginning and ending blends, and their first tricks, SH, CH, and TH. So what comes after that? One of the biggest leaps in reading that can occur is helping your kids learn when to make short vowel sounds, when to make long vowel sounds, okay? This is one of the most confusing parts of learning to read. Kids are hearing A says a or a, E says or e, I says it or I, U says or you, O says ah or oh, like they don't know what sound to make. And so when I test beginning readers who are struggling especially, what I find a lot of times is they have those CVC words down, they have beginning and ending blends down, they even a lot of times know the SH, CH, and TH. But where a lot of kids get tripped up is on this sleepy E trick. And so when they're reading words with the E at the end, a lot of times they'll sound them out. Maybe this one they might say sh, ad, eh, or maybe they say sh, ad. Sometimes they do that. But rarely do they already know what to do with this trick, which is if you have a silent, bossy, sleepy E, they're all the same thing. You might hear them called different things, but those are all the same things. You want to make this E boss the closest vowel. Okay, now the closest vowel is important to say because in longer words, you might see this E at the end. And if you don't say boss the closest vowel, someone might think this one should say its name as well. And it doesn't. Only this E can only get over one letter. Sometimes, very occasionally, two letters. But it won't be him jumping from here all the way to here. That doesn't happen. Regardless of what you call it, silent E, bossy E, sleepy E, doesn't matter. It can only get over one, sometimes two letters. It's very rare for it to go over two, but sometimes it will. So you need to teach your child when this E is at the end, and you can call it a silent E, a bossy E, or a sleepy E, even a magic E. I've heard it called that too. But when that's at the end, you want to let your child know that it is going to make the closest vowel say its name. I always say E is so sleepy at the end of a word that he gets grumpy. And when he gets grumpy, he grumps at the closest family member around. Those are his vowel family members. So A, E, I, O, or U. Make sure your kids know the vowels or they cannot do this trick. To the closest vowel. So he's going to jump over that and say your name, vowel. Well, A, E, I, O, U, whoever's getting bossed is just like, oh, he's super sleepy and grumpy. I'll just do what he says and not start a fight. I know he's sleepy. So he'll say his name and E finally goes to sleep. Okay? So what we have is A, because he says his name, he's the letter A, he's going to say A. A, D, shade. What's this face? Daddy's face. If your child's having trouble with reversals, make sure they're looking. If they hit that da-da-da daddy's face first, say da. Okay, so shade, shade. And then make sure you're asking your child, what does that word mean? Okay, it's not enough to read words. You want to check your child's understanding of those words. Check their vocabulary. Sometimes when they say a word and it sounds right to you, they might be thinking something very different. So make sure you check. Do they know what that word means? If they don't know what it means, help them learn it, go back to it, review it, make sure they're adding it to their vocabulary. All right, so what about this one? Notice I'm putting in the SH, the CH, the TH in the words I'm teaching them with the sleepy E. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that because your kids need to remember these old tricks while they're learning new ones. You see, words have tons of tricks in them, and your kids are going to need to remember them to do well with reading. If you leave the old tricks behind and just create words without them, with just regular sounds and no tricks, your child might forget them, okay? A lot of kids who struggle to learn to read struggle because they have memory issues. That means they learn and they forget. They learn and they forget. One way around this is make sure you're bringing back those old tricks as you practice with your child. That's what'll help keep them in the brain. So whatever we don't use, we lose. So we want to keep using them, and we want to move into bigger words. So real quickly, remember, C and the H say ch, 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 ch. So that's going to say ch. We're going to boss that O. Say your name, vowel. Make that O say O. Ch, oak. And remember, drag this vowel into that next sound. You want this to be nice and smooth. Ch, oak, choke. Then you're done. Okay, this one, remember the T and the H. T is pointing. The train is coming. The E's. These. Notice I'm dragging that into that. These. All right, and then why do I have such a big word if my child's just learning to read? Well, kindergartners, first graders, second graders especially, they need to know that they can read bigger words, not just little tiny words. If you keep them on these smallest words possible and you don't show them how to do the bigger words, they won't know that they can read them, and they might not know how to attack them at all. It really is a skill, and it's one you want to bring in early. Now, to make it easy, just teach your child to find the vowels, right? They need to know them anyway for this trick. Find the vowel, go one past, and break it. This works most of the time, and it is amazing. I get kids who can't read, this word, this word, this word, this word, and a week later, they're reading words like this. And that's because I show them how to break those words up and read them in the easiest way possible. So I'm going to show you how to do it, but if you need more help, if you're like, I just don't feel comfortable teaching this, look up our Black Belt reading program. We have it at kidscanonlineacademy.com and kidscanreadandwrite.com. You can find it either place, and you can sign up for it, pay for it. All that is a paid program, but it has everything you need to teach your child to read and write. It has the lessons on video where I'm teaching your child one-on-one. You can watch with your child to learn them also. It has packets full of worksheets that you can do with your child to help make sure your child gets the trick down and gets the practice they need to master it. You've got words in isolation for you to just read with your child, words for you to call out to help your child learn to spell with that trick. We have sentences to read, sentences to write, fill in the blank sentences to check comprehension. We've got stories to read with questions after it. Just all sorts of things. Games, everything you need to teach your child to read. So look that up if you need it. You can go to kidscanonlineacademy.com or kidscanreadandwrite.com. But anyway, let's see how you would do this. So you want to teach your child, find that first vowel, go one pass, and break it. And read that. K, on, con. Now what is that? That's just a CVC word, right? It's just consonant, vowel, consonant. Now we're going to read the second half. We have a blend. So they should already know that if you're teaching it. K, kr. See how we blend those together? Then we do our new trick. Eat, crete. Now we put them together. Concrete, concrete. Concrete, like what you walk on, what the sidewalk is made out of. Concrete. Make sure your child knows what they're saying. So that's how you do it, guys. Like, teach them the rule. When there's any at the end, make the closest vowel say its name. You can put the whole fun story with it to make it more fun. Make sure you bring in those old tricks and make big words too. And again, if you want all this done for you, get the Black Belt Reading Program. I spent years putting it together before AI existed, and I hope you will enjoy the fruits of my labor, because I put everything together. You just follow step by step and you can teach your child to read. Doesn't matter what kind of teacher they have that year. It doesn't matter if they learn and forget. You can just go back, reteach, reteach, reteach. It's yours. You can use it with siblings. So use that resource. But let's go over a few more words so you can get the hang of it. So I'm going to go a little faster through this part. So again, sleepy E makes the closest vowel say its name. We're going to blend these two together. Now, be careful. Don't say for R. Please don't say for R. R does not say R says r. Okay, a short sound r. We want p, we want r. Put them together, pr. It's not per, pr. Okay, pr. Eyes, prize, like you win a prize for doing something. How about this one? Say your name, vowel. Make the closest vowel say its name. A U will say you. It's a U. It's going to say its name. You. Okay, don't say oo. You. You. Say his name. What letter is it? U. That's what he'll say. So we go. Cube. Notice the ba back is first here. Cube. Cube. A cube, like an ice cube, or the shape that is a cube. See if I can draw one. A cube, okay, cube. How about this one? Say your name, vowel. Oat, note. And what about this one? Sleepy E goes, boss is the closest vowel. Cannot come over here. In, so notice this is regular. In, this part is your trick. Vite. Invite. So notice when you start breaking up those words into little parts, it's just like reading little words, but then we put them together. This is magical. This makes such a huge difference to readers, okay? You want to teach them the tricks. You also need to teach them a great blending technique and a great break up giant words technique, because once they can do that, it frees them to read the big words. A lot of kids never learn how to read the big words, and then they just start making them up, blah-blahing through them, skipping them, whatever, and it messes them up. So make sure you start this early on. Your kids will be so proud of themselves when they see they can read big words like their big brothers and big sisters and big cousins and big parents. They'll be so excited. So also don't forget to bring in the vocabulary part and just have fun. Make it fun. You know, reading is a very special time. Learning to read is really fun, really special. Make sure your kids are enjoying it. Make it fun. Offer rewards such as praise, right? Tell your kids, wow, you just read that giant word. Make it really fun for them. And enjoy it because it's an accomplishment. And no matter what age you are learning to read, it's an accomplishment. You should be proud of yourselves, and you should make your kids feel proud of themselves. So good luck. If you have questions, if you're stuck on a word, if you don't know how to explain it to your kid, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'll be happy to help. I'll do my best to get something out as soon as possible. But remember, after you teach CVC words, beginning blends, ending blends, SH, CH, and TH, start helping your child understand about long vowels. One time is when the E bosses a vowel, and then I'll do another video on two vowels. Because that's what I would do next. And that way you give your child a really big, push into the reading world. If they can read all of those things, they can read quite a bit. As you add more tricks in, they can read more and more. So again, if you need help, look up the Black Belt Reading Program. But thank you so much for joining me today. Please say hello. Let me know you're listening, and let me know what else I can help you with. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again next time.